What's up, guys? Welcome back to Serve Stories. Once again, this is a series where we here at The Life bring in somebody from either from ministry or the church at large and just really talk to them about their experience on mission and making the name of Jesus known not only here in Northport, but all over the world. And today we have Austin Vaughn. What's up, Austin? How you doing?
What's up, everybody?
Last summer, Austin went on his first ever mission trip. That's exciting. Austin, how you doing? You good?
Oh, yeah.
Question one, tell me about where you went and what kind of work you did.
So we went to Puerto Rico, and the work we were doing, we were just working on people's houses. What we really was doing was just kind of going around getting to know everybody in the community and spreading the word of Jesus. But while we were there was to fix some roofs.
Now, speaking of that kind of work, had you ever done any work like that before, like specifically that kind of work?
I'd say I was kind of in my comfort zone more or less, but I'd never really lived without AC. That was pretty rough.
That heat in Puerto Rico was wild.
Always being in the heat, always sweating, trying to get used to that. It takes a couple of days at least.
Now, you mentioned this earlier. You said that you were there doing the roof work, but that you were also there spraying the name of Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
And what's great about mission service is that you're working on people's houses, and a big part of that is that they're homeowners there, and so you get to talk to them. So tell me about some of the interactions you have with your homeowner, or just people who are walking around the neighborhood. Tell me about some of your interactions with them.
Oh, well, one day we actually finished one part of the roof, and you have to wait like 4 hours for it to dry. So we were like, what are we going to do? So we went and walked around the neighborhood, just kind of praying over houses. And we came to this one house, and they actually came outside. They talked to us, and they had a mango tree in their backyard. So we got to eat some fresh mangoes. That was pretty nice. I'm not a big fruit guy, but mangoes are pretty good.
Good stuff. So we talk about missions a lot at this church. Would you kind of agree with that? Also, we talk about missions a lot. What are some of the things we talked about here that you saw in action there in Puerto Rico? Whether here, like in the college service, or just in the main service, like what are some of the things that we've talked about that you kind of saw in action?
Well, one thing I saw was, Jesus was evident in Puerto Rico. It wasn't something that I was expecting. Like, I was expecting to go there and preach Jesus to people that had never heard it before. But going there, most everybody's heard of Jesus, and they're open to the idea of, what is Christianity? How do you follow Jesus? That type of thing, which was very different for me because but when I thought about it, I was like, oh, people have never heard of this, so we're going to try and, start with step one and go to however you need to. But each conversation was different. There's always somewhere different to start the conversation.
That's good. All right, so changing gears a little bit, tell me the funniest story from that trip.
Oh my God. Funniest, I can't really think of a funniest moment other than, Joseph and his Spanglish. He's terrible at Spanish. So one word would be like, I can't even do it. It's so bad.
I wasn't in Puerto Rico, but I heard plenty of stories about his Spanglish, let me tell you. I heard something about Parco en la Strito or something like that.
Yeah, it was like an English word and just throw O at the end of it or something.
The most offensive way to talk Spanish or something. So kind of changing gears again, this is kind of the meat of kind of what I wanted to get at. When you're on a mission trip, you're working in people's lives, sure, and God's using you to do that, but you realize that He was working in your life too. And so what was the hardest moment from that trip, and how did you see God work through either in the group as a whole or in your life specifically?
Well, like I said earlier, something that got to me was, they know Jesus down there, and so one way or another, it winds up to them preaching to you. And the homeowner we were at, she had life pretty hard, but, her faith was staying firm, and it just made me think of where my faith was. And it was like a faith check, really. It's like, where's your heart at, basically? Because she's there with nothing, but yet, she believes and she's willing. And it's completely different from where I am, because here in Alabama, Tuscaloosa, I get most things handed to me, I'm not going to lie. And so it's really like, what would I do in that situation? Would I depend on Jesus, or would I do something else? And that really helped me grow
That's awesome. So last question, probably one of my favorite questions. The frappes.
Oh my God.
What kind did you get? And also, if you've never been to Puerto Rico, I'll put up a picture. These things are like, Austin, first of all,
They're muy bueno.
Separate question. How would you describe these frappes?
Oh my God. It's hard to, they're very refreshing. Like it's almost like a milkshake, but it's not, because I don't know many people that want to get a milkshake after they've had a hard day at work. Yeah, other than Anthony. but these are just, they hit you different. It's not like, oh my gosh, now I need a nap. It's like, oh, I'm energized, I'm ready to go now, but it's sweet.
All right, so what kind did you get?
I had a bunch of different kinds, but the one I liked the most ended up being the cookies and cream. I didn't get it the first time. Joseph did, and he kept telling me about it. That's literally the only flavor he got the entire time we went. Now, we probably went like 10 times, I'm not going to lie. But I ended up trying it because he kept talking about it and kept getting it, and yeah, that was my favorite. So
I was also a cookies and cream guy. It's good.
That's my favorite ice cream anyway. So.
Same. You cannot go wrong.
You can't.
You just can't do it. Now, if they had a cookie dough frappe,
that would be crazy.
that'd be something else. Well, that's all the questions for today. Austin, thank you so much for coming in and just giving us a look into your time in Puerto Rico and how God worked in your life. And thank you all for watching and listening. Join us next time for another episode of Serve Stories, and we'll see y'all soon. Bye.
Peace.